Good morning, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jalen Dawes, of course, and this is Jalen Unplugged. Today we're going to be trading gold once again, so let's go ahead and jump onto these charts right now. Let's go. Alright, so as you can see, we're still in this weird spot, aka consolidation. Yeah, as you can see, we're bouncing in between here. See on the 4-hour. It kind of looks like we're in a downtrend overall now. Because yesterday we were up here, but it looks like we are sitting under. No, yesterday we were over here, and then we shot up and then it dropped. But as you can see, we are rejecting up here. Maybe even do it like that. Why does it look like that? Oh, alright. So as you can see, we are currently in a sell setup on the 1-hour. And it just looks like it hasn't extended yet. So today looks like we may be looking for sells, which kind of makes sense because we have targets. So I would probably wait for it to come up here and then make a setup to drop all this off. So kind of what it looks like to me right now. Like we were going up and then now we're turning around. So we'll probably look for an impulse, pull back, and then drop. Which makes sense because we haven't broken old highs over here. We did break highs in the smaller time frame. Like minor highs that we created, we broke, but we did not break this overall high. Which is weird because we're kind of in the same exact spot that we were in yesterday. Yeah, we were up here yesterday. But yesterday we were like sitting in this zone. That's why I didn't have it marked. Like as you can see, the zone is kind of like going straight through these candles. These candles are sitting in it, tapped it, dropped, tapped, dropped, tapped, dropped. So overall market structure on this, it looked like it was getting ready to flip bullish because we had a push, then it dropped, and then it broke highs over here. So I was expecting that impulse to carry out, but it looks like it tried to fight through this zone, but then it just lost all the momentum and pushed straight down. So it's possible that we can get that same reaction here and it can give us a nice sell setup. So I'd probably wait for it to climb back up, tap the zone, and then make a sell setup off. Because the only buy setup at this moment that I see is either down here or right here. These are the only two setups, aka targets, that I see. But it just looks like at this moment it's trying to gather its momentum to then push off. Because it looks like it's trying to go up right now. Yeah, on the 1 minute, we're breaking up to the upside. We just broke this high. And nothing really happened. We were creating uh, an uptrend here. So I had the trend line marked out, and I'm waiting for the break for the push down. I kind of want to see it come a little bit higher because these candles are just a little bit too big for the break that I'm looking for. So we're currently still waiting for this trend line to get broken. It looks like it's kind of moving sideways now. So we're just gonna wait for an actual break, and then we'll see what the market is doing after that break. So at this moment, we're just waiting. Okay, guys. So it looks like we're finally getting that push that we were looking for. So I just want to see another strong candle with the closure. And then we'll be looking to take sells. I'm not really worried about this too much. I would use this more of a target. Just because we extended, went as far as we can go, and then sellers kicked back in. And then we stayed up here fighting, and now sellers are winning again. So I would definitely recommend sells off of this, just the way it's looking at this moment. But I would want one more strong candle to push us down a little bit further. And I like it because the 15 also has that same gap. Let me delete that. And the 30 low-key also will have that same spot for entry. So I like it. It looks like all the time frames are correlating. Yep, all the time frames are correlating. So I would definitely feel confident taking this as long as we get our setup made. So we're just gonna be waiting for this to give us our entry, and then we'll look to take sells. But we just have to wait for our actual entry to be formed, which it now looks like it's not doing, so we shall see. Okay, we have a super slight gap that was left. So I do kind of like this setup. Like, I'm not super against it, but it's not A++, which is okay. Not gonna always get an A+. But I want to see a good closure on this last candle before we do take this. Okay, so I think just because of how small that candle is after the closure, I think we're just gonna stay away, sit on our hands. Cause like, look at this, bro. It's just wicks. I don't like that. That shit's so ugly. Like, it's no actual movement, bro. So I think we're just gonna sit on our hands and see what happens. If it plays out, cool, but it's not a real setup, bro. Okay, guys, so as you can see, the setup did play out, even though it's not, like, it didn't leave the gap or anything. It is overall playing out, but it does look like it's creating a setup within the setup itself. So I'm gonna wait and see if it actually leaves this, and then if it does, I'll set my limit just about here with the swing high there. And it's a much smaller trade, so it definitely should play out before this big overall trade plays out as well. So yep, 1 to 3 is well within, so we could probably hold it even longer if it comes back and gives us that entry. So we're definitely gonna be looking for this if it leaves this gap. All right, guys. So this overall setup is playing out. I would look to take the gap that it's leaving up here if it closes good. I would probably look to take this trade since it's within this other trade. It'll be a lot faster for my 1 to 3. See if I take the swing there, and then I get my 1 to 3 right here. And we could possibly hold it longer if it continues to fall to close out this 1 to 3 trade that it's currently in. So I'm gonna wait to see what it does. If it does come back up, then I would look to take it. But if not, we are just going to be waiting. All right, y'all. So gold is currently making a new setup. It looks like it wants to leave a gap here. But it could just be a retracement for this trade that is playing out currently for buys. But yeah, we're just waiting to see. If anything, we're just not gonna take nothing. I did see a little setup on S&P, but I've never traded S&P before. This will be my first time. So I don't know if I want to take it. It did just invalidate this sell setup here. So it did just invalidate this. So if it were to come back down and give a good reaction, that could play out. So I don't know. I might just watch it and see what happens. But gold is currently dropping at the same time. So we're just going to watch both of these. I think there's a way to put 2 charts up. But I don't know how to do that. Let me see if I can figure this out. There's got to be a way to do it. Layout setup. Here we go. There we go. So now we got both of them pulled up. You know what I'm saying? But I look official right there. You know what I'm saying? I figured that bitch out good. But yeah, so we're just waiting for this to play out. Hopefully one of them will drop into our favor. But so far, it looks like we're not trading today. I'm not gonna lie. Like if this were to drop and give us our actual setup, then yeah. But I don't know. It kind of looks like we're not trading today, guys. L on Monday, no trade Tuesday, double on Thursday. Sound like a plan to me, cuz. Just leave it. Yeah, just leave that gap, bro. I don't care about that shit. Leave that shit right where it's at, cuz. You ain't gotta worry about it. Leave that shit, cuz. Take out that setup. I mean, if it has the momentum, it definitely could. I low-key want to see it break this low. I'm not gonna lie. I low-key want to see it break that low first. I'm not gonna lie. That's because that's low-key a setup. It's a trash setup, but that's a setup nonetheless. Yeah, I'm setting my limit. I'm not taking S&P. S&P can, you can go, yeah, S&P can go. We definitely watching gold, baby. Leave my limit alone. I ain't touching it no more. All right, we're not touching the computer no more. We are Setting our limit. Whatever we get is what we get. So let's see what we get. And we got 3 hours to close on this candle too. I like the potential of this setup. Because it can definitely try to continue to go up because we have an uptrend formed here. And it would be breaking that uptrend if we get in. Because once it puts its in, it'll have to stretch past it. So it'll be breaking that uptrend. So that's the only thing that has me a little like because we just had a hard push, but we keep rejecting this spot, and we have a higher low. I mean a lower high. We have a lower high. So I mean it's a good spot for it to sell, bro. But at the same time, we are in an uptrend right now. We have not broken this low. We haven't broke it yet. If we were to break that low, I would feel so confident about this. But we didn't break that low. I'm not gonna lie, I would rather see this bitch leave me than for me to get blown straight through because of this fucking zone. Okay, see, it respected. We could definitely just be tapping into here and continue. Let's show the weak sign here. Gave it a little wick and pushed back in. Pushed back out. Because this was the overall zone that we had. So I mean, it's giving a good spot to push from. Giving a really good spot to push from. Oh shit, it put us in. It looks like it's pushing off of that bigger zone that I had drawn. I like that push that we're getting with 7 minutes left. So it gives us time to close bearish on this candle as well. And I like that this candle's bearish here. If we could just stay bearish and continue to push down off of that zone, would be nice. And could possibly even come to fill this gap here. Damn, we're in that zone now. Fuck. Come on, bro. You ain't gotta do this, bro. Just turn around, cuz. You ain't gotta do this. You ain't got no reason to be up here, cuz. I low-key don't want to see it past this line. If it breaks that line, that's a problem. Come on, break that low. Push back down, cuz. Push back down. No, what are you doing, bro? Chill. Like, if I'm gonna lose, bro, just take me out now. Stop making me wait. Just let me know I'm wrong so I can go on by my day. Come on, baby. Drop down and give me 50 on them, baby. Drop down and give me 50 on them, baby. Come on, we're bearish in every time frame. Just drop, cuz. You don't want to be up there. Alright, so since we got a bit of a push down, I went ahead and tightened my stops a little bit so that way if it were to come back, we'll just take a hit on whatever that is. But now that tightens my 1 to 3. So I'm gonna leave my actual stops where it's at. But if we get to this 1 to 3 and then it starts rejecting, I'm just gonna close it. But yeah, so I'm looking for this to hold and push down at this point. If it were to reverse, then it's all to the L, because then we'll be keeping the bullish structure. Because this would be now the new higher low if we really pay attention here. So if we get a break past this zone realistically, that means we're in a bullish structure. Let me delete this stuff because it's kind of confusing. Honestly, y'all, with how this market is moving right now, this might be an L. It really might be an L at any moment. Normally, when I sit in the zone like this, randomly I'll get the spike up and it'll take me out. So I don't know. This might be an L. I ain't gonna cap. I might give myself a little wiggle room. But if it passes this, it's definitely an L. Because I don't know. I don't like what it's doing right now. It was pushing down and then it sat on the EMA and didn't break it. So I really don't like what it's doing right now. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to keep pushing. It's just so weak, bro. Look at how weak that candle was, and then look how weak this candle is too, bro. Just push down. Stop trying to make an upward candle. You don't want to be up there. Yeah, it might take us out here. Because that bitch is just pushing, bro. Yeah, because it made a buy setup right here. And it tapped it. It just tapped into a buy setup. If it takes us out, that's why, because it just tapped into a buy setup. Yep, that's why, that buy setup right there. So that's 2 L's for the week. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm gonna go play some Call of Duty. Um, but I clearly see why we lost, because when it came back up to tap us into the trade, it created a buy setup, and it tapped into that buy setup and continued higher. So that's why we lost. It is what it is. We'll be back on Thursday. So please like, comment, subscribe, and remember, stay unplugged. Deuces.